Brett from UVO+1. Just wanted to start this video out with a huge thank you to every single one of you guys. You have been such a huge support and pretty much the only reason this channel has been as successful as it is. We already hit 250 subscribers and it's only been out for like a week. So this is just great. It's been really motivating us to make more videos and we're having a blast doing it. So this video is kind of going to be a lot of different things. I'm trying to gather feedback of what you guys are liking the most, what you guys want to see more of. As you've noticed, we're making lots of archetype videos. If you guys want us to continue just making archetypes, we can do that. We're having fun with it, but we also like talking about other stuff too. We're really open. So in the comments below, I just wanted to take a quick poll and see what you guys like the most or what you'd like to see the most. Including, even though we aren't done with Ritual Beast yet, I would like to start gathering feedback for what you'd like for a third archetype series after Ritual Beast, because right now we are getting lots of decks to kind of learn them and showcase them to you guys, ones that we think are cool and ones that you guys want us to do, like Ritual Beast. But I want to change the subject now quickly to the ban list, because it did come out earlier today. Really mixed feelings. We released a ban list video and we got one card right? Two cards. We got two cards right.
Which was the second?
Lavavo Chain.
Oh.
The first was Jin, which I don't think anyone was concerned about. So the ban list touched almost nothing. I think I can list them off in my head, actually. So they banned Lavavo Chain and Jin Releaser of Rituals. Those were the two bans. They unlimited Dragoons.
No, put the two.
Oh, no, they put the two. They put Dragoons to two.
Atlantean Dragoons.
Atlantean Dragoons. They also put the Dragon Field Spell for Dragoons.
Dragon
Valley. And it's really not busted anymore. It could go to 3. I mean, Dragon Rows aren't a thing anymore, so I'm not really that worried. Shurich went to 1. And last but not least, our boy Trish is back. So I'm going to talk about him for a little. This was crazy. Everyone is always Trish back to 1. There was that huge hype last format when there was that fake list where people thought Trish was back, and now it's actually back. And it's kind of hard to believe. So it's kind of interesting Konami decided that instead of dealing with Necroz's Trish, that they'd just give Trish to everyone. And, you know, it could work.
It worked.
We'll see. I mean, definitely a very powerful card. This one much stronger than the Necroz Trishula, for those of you who don't know, because you can't really play around it in the sense that it can always activate its effect even if there aren't 3 valid targets. It's up to 1 card in each of the 3 places. So they can literally just drop it first turn and hit one out of your hand. So a little bit better in that sense. A little harder to make, obviously, because it's a synchro that requires 1 tuner and 2 generic non-tuners. But still a crazy, crazy powerful card. So we're going to see how this impacts the meta. So going down to here now. So if you haven't already, ditch your Lavavo Chains. Rest in peace, I know. No more Clown Blade won't be nearly as powerful as we were assuming it would be.
It won't be a thing, I don't think.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Clown Blade. You never got to live. And rest in peace, a lot of
DT chains.
DT chains. But no, I was going to say just decks. There's so many like rogue decks that relied on Lavavo Chain. It's really unfortunate.
Zombies,
yeah.
Yeah, every zombie deck ever is just gone. White,
So,
like Skull Serpent decks, just regular zombie master decks.
So
I didn't think it should have been banned.
So so they also basically hit no other decks besides Necroz, and Necroz wasn't actually hit in a meaningful enough way. I think it is still a very dominant deck. And now that it doesn't have to run Jin, it was almost forced to run Jin. It opened up a few spaces for either more consistency or a few more techs, and there's a lot of cool techs I've been seeing. Deskbots, Mathematician Glow Ball, basically a lot of things that can do 1 card normal summons into the Herald of Rainbow Light. All really cool plays and very, very powerful. So that is still a very real contender. Konami did announce that they are going to be more adaptive with the list, and what some people think that means is as decks become a problem, they'll hit them on the spot before waiting for the ban list. Be interesting to see. So we'll see how that works. But something I did want to talk about quickly also was, now that this is a thing, it's kind of, you have to now be much more worried about Trish than you already were. because, I mean, now any deck that can run a tuner can basically
Burning Abyss?
Burning Abyss can't make it very easily. It's very it's like nearly impossible.
Rubik and 2 others, right?
Yeah, how are you going to get 2 negated? You have to have 2 negateds and because that can only synchro for Virgil.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so
my bad.
That was, no. But other decks, Birdman's probably going to be seeing a lot more play. That when Trish was out, Birdman was a really good way to make it because it recycled one of your monsters and then dropped this devastating motherfucker to the field. So the first thing I was going to say is I was really surprised that Konami did not hit Mistake. I think it's becoming more powerful now. Ignites, if you chain it to their effect, you actually go +2. They destroy both of the scales, and then they don't get to add a card. So this is a really devastating card. I think it's becoming better. It's because Necros are still very dominant, probably. Cleese, everything searches. Burning Abyss, not as much, but still a bit with between Skarm, which they resolve probably once a turn, and then also the Good and Evil. So still very, very good card. Last 2 cards I want to talk about. Thunder King. I was really worried they might hit this just because it's so good against a lot of decks right now, even though it doesn't deserve to be hit. And now it's even better because this motherfucker negates this motherfucker. So T-King is a great stun card as well as insurance against getting the OG Trished. That's what we'll call him to distinguish. Because now it's really confusing that we have to distinguish between 2 different Trishulas. So that's no bueno. The last card I wanted to talk about that might have just became relevant is a bit of an oldie. Steel Swarm Roach, one of the very first Exceeds out, actually, from Photon Shockwave, so the second set that released Exceeds.
Generation Force.
Is this Generation? Oh, so this is one of the... This is actually...
Like, first set.
This is the first set that released Exceeds. Besides that structure deck, no one cares. Fuck you, don't so what this guy says is, and I think I've talked about him before, but when a level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the special summon, and destroy it. Currently, we're pretty sure that this rule is just like Blackhorn, so it also can negate several Pendulum summons of level 5 and higher. According to the TCG ruling of Blackhorn, which is worded the same as this, there's no reason it shouldn't. But it also, yeah, definitely negates Trish, not once, but twice, if they somehow had the resources to make 2 Trishulas. Although they would also have to have somehow recycled the 1 Trish, because it's at 1. Anyway, so, the list really hasn't changed that much. I think Konami's trying to push their new stuff by just showing us I think they're expecting it to be so powerful that they don't even need to hit the old stuff to show that the new stuff has oomph to it. They're trying to so they're going to let the power creep phase out the old meta, I think is what they're planning on doing. And whether or not that works is a different story. I can't comment too much yet. So we'll see how that goes. A few last things I want to talk about. They released the new TCG exclusive archetype that's basically going to be the Burning Abyss of the next 4 sets. It's all TCG exclusives, and they're going to release about 5 per set. Pretty much the very same path that Burning Abyss followed, which led to it winning Nats this year in North America, which is pretty awesome. So they're called Cosmos, and it's basically like a Star Wars, Wizard of Oz, Mix Mash. I don't even know. They're a very interesting archetype, and I think they have a shit ton of potential, and it has one of the dirtiest emergency teleports in the game, definitely. That results in like 4,300 damage plus they have this really weird boss monster, and I'll put the links to the Yu-Gi-Oh page on that in the description for you guys to read. Actually,
super floaty, but kind of fragile.
Yeah, and like when Burning Abyss released, they still topped regionals, but they only had like 3 actual main deck archetype cards, and it's the same situation for Cosmos. So as they get more and more cards, the deck's obviously going to work better and better. Because you're going to have to get to take out more and more of the text with more and more of the archetype consistency and the generically just busted cards they usually release, like Konami's famous for doing. So, to recap what I wanted you guys to put in the comments, in case you've actually made it this far, congrats to you guys, I haven't bored you. I want to know what archetypes you like talking about the most, and what ones you want me to do in the future. There are definitely a lot of cards in the next set that makes some decks relevant. You guys have said Raid Raptors, and I've never looked at those yet, like ever. But I will look into them once the next set comes out because I've heard things that the cards in that set might make them relevant. I'm definitely really interested in Ignites. Decently interested in Arrow Mages. They aren't really a cool deck to talk about. Arrow Mages aren't because it's a
very linear.
It's a stun deck. It's basically just draw cards and plus off your back row. I don't think it's a combo deck.
Hope you draw enough back row outs to their cards.
Yeah, it's one of those decks where you just hope you draw the right amount of monsters to back row ratio. Really powerful deck, maybe. We'll see. People have been talking about Cactus Bouncer with that, and I think that's actually not that good. If you guys
Fossil Ban is just better.
Yeah, because anytime you add a combo, it gets slightly worse. That's just kind of how the game is. One card combos are best combos. That's why fucking Clifford Scout is so good. So, yeah, if I was salty about anything, it's Clifford's not getting hit, and the only reason I hate Clifford's is because Towers exists. I think it's a really cool deck besides Towers. And I was totally happy with it until Towers became relevant again because of Wavering Eyes. And I don't think it's Wavering Eyes' fault. It's just, there's something, it's Scout's fault. But Scout wasn't really that busted until Wavering Eyes became a thing. So it's a really weird what do you touch scenario. So
everything with Clifford in its name.
Yeah. So if you guys want us to do more theory talks or just talks about the meta or whatever in general, obviously it's day one of the meta, so I'm not going to really have too much information that you guys don't already have.
Best 37 decks before meta.
Yeah. I'm really interested in making whatever videos you guys would be most interested in seeing. I've been loving this. Hope you guys are liking this. Any and all comments are loved. I've been trying to respond to pretty much everyone. Between my brother and I, we've tried to hit every single comment. It's getting a little bit harder because there's more of you, but we're going to keep trying our best, So, thank you guys all so much. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. It's been motivating us to keep making videos. We're trying to do one daily. We both are very busy, except at night, so it's kind of hard, but we're going to try to get 1 to 2 videos daily. Still, we're going to keep that as our goal. So, thank you guys again all so much, and have a great night.